Some of y'all been stuck for too long. You got dreams, you got goals, but every time it's time to take action you hesitate. You overthink, you wait, and before you know it, the moment's gone. Let me tell you something right now. Success don't wait. Opportunities don't wait. Life don't wait. See, there's a rule, and if you follow it, you can change everything. It's called the 5-second rule. That's it. 5 seconds. That's all you got before your mind starts working against you. 5 seconds before doubt creeps in. 5 seconds before fear shuts you down. But if you learn to move, if you learn to act before your brain talks you out of it, you win. So today, I'm gonna teach you how to stop overthinking before it stops you. How to beat hesitation before it beats you. How to take control of your mind before it takes control of your future. Overthinking is the silent killer of progress. It sneaks into your mind, disguising itself as logic, caution, or preparation. But in reality, it's just fear wearing a mask. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right moment, that you need more information, that you're just being responsible. But deep down, you know the truth. You're hesitating, you're doubting, and the longer you sit in that space of hesitation, the stronger it becomes. Every time you overthink, you give your brain time to find reasons why you shouldn't do something. That's how the mind works. It's built to protect you from risk, from failure, from discomfort. But here's the problem. Success lives on the other side of those very things. Every great opportunity, every breakthrough, every moment of transformation comes with uncertainty. If you wait for all the lights to turn green before you move, you'll never leave the driveway. Think about the moments in your life when you hesitated. Maybe it was speaking up in a meeting, taking a chance on a business idea, stepping into a gym for the first time, or even introducing yourself to someone new. The moment was there, the opportunity was right in front of you. But instead of acting, you paused, and in that pause, doubt took control. Your mind started whispering, "What if I fail? What if I look stupid? What if I'm not ready?" That's all it takes, just a few seconds of hesitation for fear to grip you so tight that you do nothing at all. Now, compare that to the moments when you did act. The times you jumped in without giving yourself the chance to talk yourself out of it. Maybe it was an impulse decision. Maybe it was a split-second choice. But because you didn't hesitate, you didn't let fear win. And guess what? Most of the time, those are the moments you look back on with pride. Those are the decisions that moved your life forward. The problem with overthinking is that it makes even the smallest decisions feel impossible. You go back and forth, analyzing every possible outcome, and before you know it, the opportunity has passed. Maybe someone else stepped up, maybe the timing is gone, or maybe you just convinced yourself it wasn't the right move, even though deep down, you knew it was. This cycle is dangerous because it doesn't just affect one moment, it becomes a habit. You start hesitating in every area of your life. You overthink conversations, career moves, personal goals. You train yourself to wait, to doubt, to hold back. And the more you do it, the harder it is to break free. Overthinking steals your energy. It drains you before you've even taken the first step. You spend so much time imagining scenarios that you forget to create real ones. You tell yourself you're being smart, but really, you're just stuck. And the worst part, most of the things you're worrying about never even happen. You're fighting battles in your head that don't exist in reality. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who act. They make decisions fast. They move forward even when they don't have all the answers. They understand that action creates momentum, and momentum is what separates winners from those who are stuck in their heads. Fear doesn't go away. Doubt doesn't disappear. But when you stop giving them time to grow, they lose their power. You can't eliminate fear, but you can outrun it. You can't erase doubt, but you can drown it out with action. The longer you wait, the louder fear gets. The quicker you move, the quieter it becomes. Your mind is powerful, but you have to train it to work for you, not against you. Overthinking is a habit, but so is action. You get to decide which one you practice more. Every time you catch yourself hesitating, remember that you're at a crossroads. You can either let doubt control you, or you can move before it has the chance. The 5-second rule is a simple but powerful tool that can break the cycle of hesitation and overthinking. It works because it interrupts the mental patterns that keep you stuck and forces you to act before doubt takes over. Your brain is wired to protect you from anything uncertain, uncomfortable, or risky, which is why hesitation leads to overthinking. The moment you feel an instinct to do something that aligns with your goals, your brain starts searching for reasons to hold you back. If you let that process continue, you will almost always talk yourself out of taking action. This is where the 5-second rule comes in. The rule is straightforward. The moment you have an instinct to act on a goal, count down from 5 to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and physically move. Stand up, take a step, speak up, raise your hand, make the call, send the message, thus do something that moves you in the direction of that instinct before your mind has the chance to kill it. The countdown works because it forces your focus away from fear and doubt and shifts it into action mode. It's like hitting a mental reset button. Instead of spiraling into excuses or negative thoughts, you take control of your mind and direct it toward action. Your brain has a habit of defaulting to safety. It wants to keep you in your comfort zone because that's where things feel predictable and manageable. But success, growth, and change all happen outside of that comfort zone. The problem is, your mind doesn't care about success, it cares about survival. That's why the moment you feel an impulse to step out of your routine, your brain starts firing off reasons why you shouldn't. It's not the right time. You're not ready. What if you fail? All of these thoughts are designed to keep you safe, but in reality, they keep you stuck. The 5-second rule works because it beats your brain at its own game. Instead of giving yourself time to hesitate, you act before your brain has a chance to stop you. It's not about waiting until you feel ready, because most of the time, you won't. It's about moving forward despite uncertainty. When you use the rule consistently, you start to rewire your mind. You teach yourself that fear doesn't have to control you, that you can take action even when you don't feel like it. Over time, hesitation becomes less of a habit, and action becomes your new default. Think about how many moments in your life have been lost to hesitation. How many times have you wanted to speak up in a conversation but held back? How many times have you planned to start something new but let doubt stop you? How many opportunities have passed you by simply because you didn't act in the moment? The 5-second rule eliminates those lost moments. It gives you a way to override your fear and take control of your decisions. It may sound too simple to be effective, but that's exactly why it works. Most of the time, The hardest part of doing something is just starting. Once you take that first step, momentum takes over. The problem is, most people never take that step because they let their thoughts get in the way. The 5-second rule removes that barrier. It tricks your brain into action before it has the chance to talk you out of it. This rule applies to every area of life. Whether it's waking up early, going to the gym, speaking in public, making an important decision, or breaking a bad habit, the process is the same. The moment you feel resistance, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and move. The action doesn't have to be big. It just has to be something that shifts you from thinking into doing. Over time, these small moments add up. What once felt difficult becomes second nature. The hesitation that used to hold you back starts to disappear, replaced by a mindset that thrives on action. Your feelings will always try to dictate your actions, but feelings are unreliable. If you wait until you feel motivated, you'll never start. If you wait until you feel confident, you'll never take the risk. The 5-second rule teaches you that action comes first and feelings follow. The more you practice it, the more control you gain over your own mind. Instead of letting doubt, fear, or procrastination run the show, you take the lead. Most people believe that motivation is what leads to action. They think they need to feel inspired before they can take the first step. But the truth is, motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes, and if you wait for it, you'll be waiting forever. The key to success isn't about waiting for the right feelings, it's about taking action first, even when you don't feel like it. That's when motivation kicks in. Action is what creates momentum, and momentum is what fuels motivation. Think about a time when you forced yourself to start something you didn't feel like doing. Maybe it was going to the gym, working on a project, or making an uncomfortable phone call. At first, you probably resisted. You didn't feel like it. Your mind came up with 1,000 reasons to put it off. But once you started, something shifted. The more you moved, the easier it became. And by the time you finished, you felt better, more motivated, more accomplished. That's the power of action. Your brain is wired to resist change. It craves comfort, predictability, and ease. That's why so many people struggle to stay consistent with their goals. They wait until they feel ready, not realizing that readiness is a byproduct of movement. The first few steps are always the hardest, but once you take them, you build momentum. And once momentum takes over, motivation follows. It's a cycle. Action leads to motivation. Motivation leads to more action. And the cycle repeats. Problem is, most people never break past that first wall of resistance. They tell themselves they need to feel inspired first, so they wait. They watch motivational videos, read books, scroll through social media looking for that spark, but nothing changes. Why? Because motivation doesn't come from consuming it, it comes from doing. You can listen to all the advice in the world, but until you take action, nothing will change. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who always feel motivated. They're the ones who take action despite how they feel. They don't let emotions dictate their behavior. They wake up early even when they're tired. They go to the gym even when they don't feel like it. They make the tough decisions even when doubt creeps in, and because they act first, their feelings eventually catch up. They don't wait for motivation, they create it. This is why so many people get stuck in cycles of procrastination. They think they need to feel a certain way before they can begin. but that feeling never comes. So they wait. Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. And before they know it, they've wasted years waiting for motivation that never arrived. The only way to break the cycle is to take action before you feel like it. Even if it's small, even if it's uncomfortable, just move. Because once you start, the resistance weakens. Think about professional athletes. Do you think they feel motivated every single day? Of course not. There are days they don't want to train, days they don't feel like pushing themselves, but they do it anyway. Why? Because they understand that discipline is greater than motivation. They know that action leads to progress, and progress builds confidence. The same principle applies to every area of life. Whether it's fitness, business, relationships, or personal growth, the formula is the same: act first, and the feelings will follow. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that they need to be in the right mood to get started. But moods change, feelings fluctuate. If you rely on them, you'll always be inconsistent. The way to build discipline, the way to develop the mindset of a winner, is to act no matter how you feel. If you can master that, there is nothing you can't accomplish. Because once you prove to yourself that you don't need motivation to move, you become unstoppable. When you take action first, something powerful happens. You start to rewire your brain. You train yourself to push forward even when it's uncomfortable. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting. And before you know it, what once felt difficult becomes automatic. You start to crave progress, because progress creates motivation. You begin to see results, and results fuel even more action. This is how success is built, not on feelings, but on action. Your ability to make decisions quickly and act on them is one of the biggest factors that separates successful people from those who stay stuck. Most people waste too much time analyzing, hesitating, and second-guessing themselves. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions before taking action. But the truth is, success isn't about perfection, it's about speed. The faster you make decisions and take action, the more progress you make. The human brain is wired to avoid risk, which is why hesitation is so dangerous. The longer you wait to act, the more time your brain has to come up with reasons why you shouldn't. It starts creating fear, doubt, and worst-case scenarios. You begin to overanalyze, wondering if you're making the right choice, and before you know it, you've talked yourself out of moving forward. The problem isn't that you don't know what to do, the problem is that you're giving yourself too much time to hesitate. Think about the most successful people in any field. Whether it's business, sports, or personal development, they all have one thing in common. They make decisions quickly and adjust as they go. They don't wait for every detail to be perfect before they start. They don't get trapped in analysis paralysis. They move first and figure things out along the way. This is why they stay ahead while others stay stuck. When you train your brain to act quickly, you break free from the cycle of overthinking. You stop waiting for motivation because you understand that action creates motivation. You stop fearing failure because you realize that every mistake is a learning opportunity. You stop letting doubt control your life because you've built the habit of moving forward despite uncertainty. The key is to build a habit of speed, of taking immediate action whenever you feel an impulse to do something important. The longer you think about something, the harder it becomes to do it. If you hesitate to wake up early, you'll talk yourself into hitting snooze. If you hesitate to approach someone, You'll convince yourself it's a bad idea. If you hesitate to start a project, you'll find excuses to put it off until later. But when you decide quickly and act immediately, you override that hesitation before it has a chance to control you. This doesn't mean making reckless decisions without thinking. It means trusting your instincts, making a choice, and then adjusting as needed. Most decisions in life are not permanent. You can course correct as you go. But if you never take the first step, you'll never know what's possible. People who succeed aren't the ones who always have the perfect plan there. The ones who take action and adapt along the way. Think about how many opportunities you've missed simply because you hesitated. Maybe it was a job offer, a business idea, a personal goal, or even a conversation you wanted to have. The moment was there, but instead of moving, you overthought it. You let fear creep in, and by the time you finally made up your mind, the opportunity was gone. This is what happens when you train yourself to hesitate instead of act. Every time you make a quick decision and follow through with action, you strengthen your confidence. You build trust in yourself. You start seeing results, and those results reinforce the habit of moving forward. On the other hand, every time you hesitate, you reinforce fear and doubt. You train your brain to look for excuses, to avoid risk, to stay comfortable. Over time, hesitation becomes your default, and before you know it, years have passed without real progress. Winners don't wait. They don't overthink. They understand that action leads to clarity. When they see an opportunity, they grab it. When they feel hesitation creeping in, they override it with action. They don't waste time debating whether they're ready. They decide. They move, and they figure it out as they go. That's how you build momentum. That's how you train your brain for speed. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. It is the ability to take action even when you don't feel like it. Most people wait for motivation, but motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel inspired, and other days you don't. If you only take action when you feel good, you'll never be consistent. Successful people understand that discipline is more important than comfort. They do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. Your mind is wired to seek comfort. It wants to stay in familiar routines and avoid anything that feels difficult or uncertain. This is why people struggle with procrastination. They know what they need to do, but when the time comes to do it, their brain convinces them to delay. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired. I don't feel ready. These excuses come from a place of comfort, not from logic. The problem is, comfort doesn't lead to growth. If you always choose what's easy, you'll never become the person you're meant to be. The difference between success and failure is how you handle moments of discomfort. Do you push through and take action? Or do you give in and stay where you are? Every time you push through, you strengthen your discipline. You prove to yourself that you can control your actions, not your emotions. On the other hand, every time you choose comfort over discipline, you reinforce a habit of avoidance. The more you avoid difficult things, the weaker your self-control becomes. Think about athletes, entrepreneurs, or anyone who has achieved greatness. They didn't get there by staying comfortable. They got there because they trained themselves to take action no matter what. They wake up early even when they're tired. They put in extra hours even when they don't feel like it. They push their limits even when their mind tells them to stop. This is what separates them from the rest. The ability to act in spite of discomfort is what creates success. The key to building discipline is small, consistent actions. You don't need to make massive changes overnight. You just need to start training your brain to choose action over comfort. If you feel like skipping the gym, go for 10 minutes instead of an hour. If you feel like hitting snooze, count down from 5 and get out of bed. If you don't feel like working on your goals, do 5 minutes of focused work. The goal is to prove to yourself that feelings don't control your decisions. Every time you override your desire for comfort, you gain power over your mind. You become stronger, more resilient, more in control, and once you build the habit of discipline, everything in life becomes easier. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop wasting time debating whether you should act or not. You just do it. Most people underestimate how much their mindset controls their success. They think talent, intelligence, or luck is what makes the difference, but in reality, it's discipline. The smartest person in the world won't achieve anything if they don't take action. The most talented athlete won't win if they don't train. The most gifted entrepreneur won't build a business if they don't put in the work. Discipline is the one factor that levels the playing field. Anyone can develop it, but few people do because they let their feelings dictate their actions. Our comfort zone is the enemy of progress. It may feel good in the moment, but in the long run, it holds you back. The more you avoid discomfort, the harder it becomes to push yourself. The good news is, the opposite is also true. The more you choose action over comfort, the easier it becomes. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. When you commit to discipline, you take control of your future. You no longer rely on motivation. You no longer let fear or doubt stop you. You become the type of person who does what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. That is the mindset of a winner. That is the mindset that leads to greatness.